Day 1147 of the Trump administration. 237 days to go until the 2020 presidential election, with the number of coronavirus cases growing, with the postponement of major events and the economic toll intensifying. Donald Trump spoke to the nation tonight from the Oval Office and unveiled brand new travel restrictions.
The European Union failed to take the same precautions and restrict travel from China and other hotspots. As a result, a large number of new clusters in the United States were seeded by travelers from Europe. We will be suspending all travel from Europe to the United States for the next 30 days. The new rules will go into effect Friday at midnight. There will be exemptions for Americans who have undergone appropriate screenings, and these prohibitions will not only apply to the tremendous amount of trade and cargo, but various other things as we get approval. Anything coming from Europe to the United States is what we are discussing. These restrictions will also not apply to the United Kingdom. At the same time, we are monitoring the situation in China and South Korea.
Within the past hour, the acting Deputy Secretary of Homeland Security posted a tweet saying the travel restrictions don't apply to American citizens or legal permanent residents or their families, which makes it difficult to exactly see how this will prevent the spread of the virus. Also, the White House issued a clarification saying the president misspoke and the ban does not apply to cargo either. The travel ban is one of several steps the president discussed hours after the World Health Organization declared this new virus a pandemic. And tonight, Trump canceled his planned visits this week to both Colorado and Nevada. We're also learning not long ago that coronavirus concerns have prompted the NBA to scrap its entire remaining season, quote, until further notice. We'll have much more on that coming up. And this, actor Tom Hanks also making headlines after he posted on social media that he and his wife, Rita Wilson, have tested positive for the virus, saying, quote, "We will be tested, observed, and isolated for as long as public health and safety requires." The illness has now spread to more than 100 countries. More than 120,000 people have been infected worldwide. Tonight, there are more than 1,200 cases in the United States, and nearly 40 people have died. This morning, Dr. Anthony Fauci, head of the National Institutes of Allergy and Infectious Diseases and a key member of the White House's virus task force, offered this dire prediction in his testimony before the House Oversight Committee.
We will see more cases and things will get worse than they are right now. How much worse we'll get will depend on our ability to do two things: to contain the influx in people who are infected coming from the outside, and the ability to contain and mitigate within our own country. Bottom line, it's going to get worse.
Was it a mistake, Dr. Fauci, do you believe, to dismantle the office within the National Security Council charged with global health and security?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily characterize it as a mistake. I would say we worked very well with that office. It would be nice if the office was still there.
Now, new reports point to a shortage of critical testing materials as well as of the test kits themselves that continues to hobble the nation's efforts to deal with the virus, a concern the president did not discuss tonight. Some hospitals and commercial labs are working to increase their screening for possible cases, and many state and local officials are no longer waiting for federal help to protect their residents.
New York State is going to take matters into its own hand. We're going to start contracting with private labs in the state to increase our testing capacity. Remember again the chronology. We started several weeks ago. CDC said they would do all the tests and they would send them to Atlanta. We said that was too little, too late. This will greatly increase our testing capacity. We're not in a position where we can rely on the CDC or the FDA to manage this testing protocol.
Now, this viral outbreak put still more pressure on financial markets today. The Dow shed almost 1,500 points, a nearly 6% decline on the day. Now, that essentially marked the end of an 11-year stock rally and the start of a bear market, reflecting a 20% drop from recent highs. And futures were down significantly following the president's Oval Office address. The president did offer up some broad outlines of a stimulus package tonight.
I will soon be taking emergency action, which is unprecedented, to provide financial relief. This will be targeted for workers who are ill, quarantined, or caring for others due to coronavirus. Effective immediately, the SBA will begin providing economic loans in affected states and territories. I am asking Congress to increase funding for this program by an additional $50 billion. Using emergency authority, I will be instructing the Treasury Department to defer tax payments without interest or penalties for certain individuals and businesses negatively impacted. I am calling on Congress to provide Americans with immediate payroll tax relief. Hopefully, they will consider this very strongly.
All right, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is expected to unveil legislation tomorrow aimed at helping workers who may be at financial risk because of the coronavirus outbreak. NBC News reports the House will likely pass that bill. As for the impact this crisis is having on our daily lives, there are new developments almost hourly. The NCAA announced March Madness will go on at all venues, but without fans in the arenas. Seattle Public Schools will close for a minimum of 2 weeks beginning tomorrow. Tomorrow is also when the containment zone in the New York City suburb of New Rochelle officially begins. Officials say they hope that will control the spread of the coronavirus in what has become the largest cluster of illness in the United States so far.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.